Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute. This music isn't right. The scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF, Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. We are also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others, as well as one moment. Hades and Hellfire. A dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, and a very odd cat stand against the forces of darkness. Alrighty. Happy Monday morning. I don't know if news has hit everyone here, but allow me to switch my glasses. As of about 12 minutes ago, the notice came out that Pope Francis has passed. Now, while I may have my differences with the history and actions of the Catholic Church, I was raised, shall we say, television Catholic. And my family is very heavily Catholic. And being someone who follows world leaders, while far from perfect as any of us are, Pope Francis was a gentleman who worked tirelessly towards supporting the most vulnerable of us, as much as his faith allowed, to the eternal annoyance of many of his bishops and other people. So he was a genuinely kind man who, whenever possible, whenever he was allowed to, tried to eschew the trappings of his office. I really believed if we were in the kind of world where it was safe, he would have taken like the Roman public bus from wherever he lived in. And separate from any religious attachments, his policy of trying to uh, separate the opulence and focus on the service side of things was something that I found both refreshing and exceptionally hope inducing. Uh, he was a great man, and his loss is going to be felt by many. Alrighty. I wanted to address that, and I wanted to address that with a measure of the gravitas that I could generate with having just been handled the news. Let's get into my accountability. This has actually been a very interesting weekend for my accountability. Uh, Ironically, I'm sorry, I noticed something in the overlays that I'm going to have to check out on my own. But anyway, the it's been an interesting weekend. I say ironically because when I am helping people, the running joke is Nick has his paper collar in. Because a lot of the people I try to assist do not have either the formal mental health facilities that they should or the formal spiritual health facilities that they should. And I'm not even saying which spiritual system. I'm just like I'm not saying which healthcare system, but they end up occasionally falling into my sphere of, well, shoot, now I have to do something about this. And this weekend was a very heavy weekend for that. And I do not regret any of it. I do feel bad that for somebody's health, I had to make a report this time. And that's always very, very, very difficult. So, not to start your day off on a rough one, because that's not what you guys are here for. But I will not lie to you, so I can't just come my usual bubbly self, having just gotten certain sets of information. That being said, when we are looking at the suffering of ourself and when we are looking at the suffering of others, either through mourning or mental health or situational awareness, it is vital that we keep a line and remind us and remind those we care about to permit and forgive our own limitations. I am not a superpowered being. I'm not a powered being most of the time. Honestly, I'm lucky that I'm three-dimensional on some days. On my worst days and on my best days, I could just slip right into two dimensions and just squeak out, in the cracks between atoms. Either as a rampant cartoon or as, just fading from general existence. No, we have to maintain the fact that we are limited in what we can do. And when you're dealing with limitations, be them common or be they, pardon me, uncommon. We have to honestly assess what we can and what we can't do, what we can and what we can't change, and what we have the facilities to affect. Uh, the whole world, interaction in the whole world, is born of concentric circles, rating out from every individual of what you can reach and what you can affect right now, what you can reach and what you can affect with the aid of tools, and what you can reach and what you can affect with the aid of people. And if you want to change the world, if you find yourself looking at current events, looking at your life's current events, and you aren't sure, you're like, this is not correct. This may not be right, but it's definitely not correct in my ongoing quest for accuracy. You have to change and address what you can, and you have to start at the deepest, most personal level that you can work on. And for the ease of this conversation, we are going to say that is your thoughts. You can't change your words before you change your thoughts. You can't change your uh, word, yeah, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't change your words before you change your thoughts. You can't change your actions before you change your words. So we are at a springtime. We are at the point where my lawn is growing its magical little yellow specks that annoy certain neighbors and busybodies to great levels, and I get to gleefully say, but it's for the pollinators. Leave my dandelions alone. And if it's not for the pollinators, they're early spring dandelions, and therefore my salads. Leave me alone. Uh, there is an opportunity, a natural inclination right now to renew. There is a natural inclination to heal, to grow. And unfortunately, that does come at the time where the weight of the endurance we've had through a very strange and very lengthy winter, with many a sucker punch of fall springs, uh, rises up in us. So the burden is always heaviest right before you put it down. And my friends, this is the time to let yourself grow, to let the the parts you want in your deepest mind, your heart, your soul, wherever you radiate, to be made manifest. You have to let it grow out of you, and you have to support that. And I know it's hard. It's hard to put in the work. There is always pain in growth. One of the great and terrible burdens we have as humans is the fact that all change is made possible through the viscosity of tears. Pain, while unpleasant, is part of the lubricant of transformation. Transformation is not possible. I mean, I would love to tell you that going from I want to be a writer to getting published to making some kind of fund is easy. I would love to tell you that addressing your issues, weight loss, physical health, uh, you know, getting out of debt, whatever you're bothered with, spiritual stuff is easy. The simple truth is it's not. And while I do my best to provide comfort, I do not believe in unnecessary candy coatings. Um, I believe far more in being kind than being nice, being palatable. Kindness is more important. And while I do work very hard to avoid the trap of uh, being brutally truthful, because I do know a great many people who will weaponize the truth as a means of enhancing themselves or adjusting someone's behavior cruelly because of their own damage. Uh, I'm brutally honest. You don't need to be brutally honest. Being honest is sufficient enough. And if it's something somebody really needs to hear, it's going to feel brutal. Trust me, I've been there on both sides of it many times. But whenever we are faced with either despair or we are faced with longing, we are faced with inequity, we are faced with things that make it difficult to be who we want to be, we have a choice. And that choice is whether we are going to go through the pain and grow through it and be better on the other side, or we're going to be imprisoned by it. And it's funny that I come to you today talking about this. It's ironic because part of my accountability was this Friday between my programs, I actually completed my physical therapy. Now, that sounds like, oh, you're done. No, 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 no. What that says is completing physical therapy, having done different kinds, is more akin to authorizing to be a fighter. And I say that because it is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of your individual journey. Now, right now, we are having storms blow around and major pressure changes. And my old shoulder that was dislocated, it is singing me the songs of my past battles rather dramatically. And I know that today, like every day I've been since they started me on physical therapy, I will have to do my assigned exercises. I know this will be painful. I know that it will cause inconvenience, both in the vast amount of time it takes me to do them, because I have to stop between chunks to let things calm down so that the pain doesn't go from good pain to bad pain. But at the end of it, theoretically, there will be growth. It may be the end of each day's, but there's growth. I am better than I've been in a long, long time. I've missed a lot of sleep the last few days and caught up on a lot of it in the times when I really shouldn't. But with this, I can come into the week having endured storms I can and can't talk about, perhaps a little stronger. Now, during the time between when we last spoke and now, I did get some things done. Um, I did a complete rewrite of the waiver for the Historical Fencing Guild, which took a great quantity of research to then go, wait a second, I'm being an idiot. There is a much simpler and more balanced way to address this issue, which I did, and I'm very pleased with, because anything that prevents a problem, there we go, anything that prevents a problem in the long run uh, is service to me and my mission. Uh, did rewriting the waiver make me realize, well, shoot, now I have to rewrite essentially the rule book? Yes. Does that mean I have yet another major writing project in the works in progress floating above me? Yes. One more ball to keep juggling. But I'm slowly learning which of these balls are rubber, which of these balls are glass, and which of these balls aren't even necessary. They're just garbage. And you cycle through, and sometimes you can let the glass ones drop because they'll bounce back up. No biggie. I let the glass ones. No, you let the rubber ones drop, because if you drop the glass ones, they shatter all over the place. See? Nick can't even keep his metaphors straight. And then it's true. But that also, in accident, highlights exactly the situation. Keeping track of which ones are glass and which ones are rubber, and which ones, why am I juggling this? It's expired. And just yeeting it into the abyss of irrelevancy. My list of works in progress and to do is nigh endless. But if I can keep it prioritized, things can function. This is why we need deadlines. This is why we need organizers of one format or another. This is why we need to reach out and touch base. And when we are looking at the situations, that whole thought of the serenity prayer must come to mind. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I cannot accept, and the wisdom to know the difference. The only way you get that wisdom, guys, it's through pain. It's through making the mistakes, acknowledging the mistakes, and working through it. The theme of today's broadcast, on a certain level, is while you need to rest, while you need to heal, that even that process is part of the great game of embracing the suck. Because I've traveled in, I have many, many military friends, so certain vernacular between friends and family have trickled into my thinking. And the phrase ruck up and embrace the suck is rather well echoed in many circles, which I associate with. It's going to suck. If you want to be a writer, it is going to suck. You are going to have to physically write your books. You are going to have to physically market your books. You are going to have to physically put yourself out there. But if you want to make something better for yourself, for the people you care about, for the world in general, even if that's just through, oh, I have a really great story. Well, Buttercup, it's going to suck. But as we come into the spring and as the cycle of life drives us to planting seeds, plant the seeds of your ideas onto paper. Plant the seeds of your dreams and thoughts onto artwork. Plant them in your scheduler. And then feed and water and nurture and provide sunlight, provide rain, and watch those seeds grow. And just some of us, just a few of the fortunate, have the privilege to plant seeds for the trees that will provide shade that we will never sit under. And instead of feeling bad because you will never really know the comfort and outcome of some of your work, take comfort in knowing others will, and it's important. Now, for technical issues, I've been asked not to run the NDCD ad because there's some work being done. So I'm not going to, and that did throw off a lot of my pre-programmed bam, bam, bam. But I am going to run an ad, and after I run this ad, I want to see what you guys have done, how you guys are moving forward into the spring. What's going into your personal garden, be it literal or metaphorical. And after all the wonder of all of that, we're going to get back and we're going to deal with whatever you guys got on your plate for a while. All right? So see you in a few. One second. Oh, typo. I'm sorry, I do not type as fast as I used to. And that's atrocious considering how bad a typist I am. But let's see how you're doing. Let's hit the chat up. No, we came on a little soft, and that might be needed. But I'm going to move forward, and maybe we could get that momentum built up. All right. First through the door was Foxy. Morning, everyone. Good morning, Foxy, my dear. How are you? And following that is Trelena. Good morning, my love. How are you? And morning, lady, says Thesis. You're cute too, Ducky. No, how are you doing, Thesis? We got greetings and hello, Dawn. That's Dawn Dulas, creator, of course, of her fashionable felines. As I go to scroll to her other thing, but here we go. Buddy and Georgette, you can read about them on Facebook. She is also the host of Indie CD 411. Love to know when you're doing the next one of those, Dawn. I'm sure someone is doing something that you want to highlight and that needs to be discussed or has done something. And good morning, Carl. Good morning, everyone. Donna's off with her friend for breakfast. Well, that's a tragedy. It never feels like the right day if I can't flirt with Donna, Carlene, but we will deal with it. The horrors persist, but then again, so do I. Tell her hi when she gets home. Will do. I'm tending to the cats solo. They don't like it when mommy leaves. Vacuum sometimes appears. Dun dun dun. I like to think that the vacuum is an eldritch horror from the cat's Lovecraftian world. You know, like just outside the town boundaries of Uthar, there's a vacuum factory. And I don't care if it's one of the soft, easy entry to Lovecraftian mythos. I still love the Cats of Uthar. It's still one of my all-time favorite stories. And I don't care. Now, then in Donna's honor, remember to like and share. We know you're subscribed, right? Thank you, Foxy. And Carl uh, echoes that tone. And welcome and hey. And breakfast sounds good, especially stuffed French toast with strawberries. Um, that sounds heinously delightful. I had one of these granola bars, and I will have one of these granola bars because my irregular alarm clock decided 9 o'clock was the time to wake me up. Uh, so it was a paced waddle through the house. Of course, I'm not having that, but I wish I was. Oh, okay. I told her to do her Muncie, and then I would do mine, though, on the way to the laundromat later. Well, at least it's scammed. It's planned. It's scammed. Dun dun dun. No, my brain took plan and scan and turned it into scammed. I don't quite know how, but it did. And that's probably what she had. Foxy or blackberries. One of my favorites. I do love blackberries. We got greetings, and we have greetings, and especially when you use duck eggs for making French toast, don't think it's such a huge change, but it is. Oh, ducks are wonderful. They are just so messy to keep. Almonds. I'm having almonds and coffee. Excellent choice of phrasing. And accountability. Lawn mode. Now to edit Donna's next book, which just got back from the beta reader. Excellent. Hanson Hellfire is still slugging along because apparently starting more projects makes me cyclically procrastinate. And I work on another project so I can procrastinate on what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I can get the magic gestalt of applied procrastination going, I can usually make things happen. So I'm impressed, folks. My hair is falling out on the side, but I'd rather have it fall out of the thing that I've got it hooked up with than fall out of my head. Almost time. Get your likes. Shines up like a bowling ball, aims like crochet hook, ready to poke the like button. And Botrix has joined the channel. Liked. Tosses ball down the lane, smashing like button. Well done. And cheers like a wee character for Fox. I can hear. Why can I hear that so well? Like the Nintendo Wii music and the little. Oh wow! Turned down the volume and came in soft. Uh, Orange glasses and no screaming. Yep, glasses. Nick, I have a concern. And Carl says, "Oh, I'm not Catholic, but still, he seemed to be looking out for others. Indeed, Pope Francis was one of the good ones. Yeah, he's one of the better ones. I saw it when I got up this morning, but didn't want to say anything to bring things down. I literally found out 12 minutes before the broadcast. Uh, okay, I understand the quietness. Peace to those who are mourning the death of Pope Francis. Accountability. Don't think I have much. Family and Ted. It was Easter weekend. I expect you guys to have, if you observe, to have spent some time with your family. And if not, I understand that you may today be spending some time with some cheaper Cadbury cream eggs. Understand your issues your issue in helping Nick. It's not all fun and games. No, it's not. Hyle the Elder. If I am but for others, who will be for me? If I am but for myself, what am I? If not now, then when? Yes. Basically, see a problem, help where you can. We try. I actually like dandelions. I like dandelions when they are maintained. When you have to deal with the 3 foot spiky dandelions, they can be problematic. But my favorite flower is related to dandelions, so I won't complain. Uh, Trey says my mom's favorite flowers were dandelions and violets. I got a tattoo of them on my shoulder when she passed. That is really lovely, Trey. Okay, so I may have some bizarre phantom overlay on my end. I'll deal with that, thank you. Uh, Violets are pretty too. I like daisies. Daisies are good too. We have wild violets in the yard. Daisies are Trey's favorite, especially the gerbera. I hope I pronounced that correctly. My mom had them in hers too. They are so pretty. Here, we're lucky to have anything alive. They ought to plant desert plants rather than grass and things that die when they get dry. Well, that would be intelligent, especially if they don't want to run the sprinklers. Grass is overrated. Ha ha! I agree. I'd rather have sand and cacti. I disagree. Well, I tend to like lawns like my parents' lawn, which is largely moss and strange weeds that people don't want to identify real well, and little mounds that open up to reveal baby turtles. The bogs I grew up around were not in any way abnormal. Everybody has, bizarre quasi parasitic umbrella plants with really beautiful flowers that you shouldn't look at too long or you get dizzy. Uh, that's normal, right? Yeah. Yeah. Foxy, you love you just like flowers. We had this conversation yesterday. Aw. You aren't quite sand, but close to it. Yes, and good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chris Walker. Hope you all had it. Despite the challenges, it was a very, very homey, very family weekend, and I did get to enjoy the comfort that that provides. I have to learn to let myself do that more. Hey, Chris. Squee, says Don. And hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. I was so freed when I read about the 80-20 rule. Only 20% of what we worry about is important. Let the rest sit on back burner. Be careful what you choose to worry about. That is something I medically work very hard to deal with. It might shock some of you that I am actually a rather anxious person. I know, I hide it so well. But Chris Walker says nearly all women love flowers, but it's interesting to find out which ones are their favorites. The variety of responses can be quite enlightening. Indeed. And while I do love roses, they are rather overrated, in my opinion. Uh, that's a little spicy, I know, especially red roses. I mean, there's so much one can do romantically with the flower selection. To pick red roses, they are classic and they have their place. But like all good classics, they have to be in their place. I want to add lilacs to the flower list, please. Oh, lilacs are wonderful. Well, my favorite smells is lilac in bloom. Donna has 2 lilac bushes outside our back door, so she gets to pass them every time she goes outdoors. Uh, Indeed. And good morning, Robin. Morning, buddies. How are you, my dear? I know you were doing a lot online. I unfortunately, as I may have implied earlier, was heavily entangled in, well, you know me, wow, a remarkably long time at that. And I do tend to become entangled with the gig a bit more than I like to admit. Robin, hey, Robin. Hope you had a blessed Easter. It's a very good idea, Carl. Stress from worrying too much about the wrong things can be so unhealthy and unproductive. Productive. Yep. Hi, Robin. How is everyone? And Foxy says tired but well enough. Hi, Robin. Tomatoes, strawberries, and maybe a pepper plant this year. Ooh. We have a vast number of things we have to put in the ground. And I hear tired streamed for 4 hours. Wow. Um, that that's amazing. You may notice I was not online very much at all. Aw, bye, Joey. Y'all are cute. Anyway, um, sorry, I get little slice of life videos occasionally, and they are insanely adorable. But uh, thank you to everyone who dips into my stream, and I think uh, I should run. I think I have to run. I'll run the newer ad. Where is the newer ad? Here we go.
Welcome, welcome, bunnies. It's Robin Yoda. My Twitch stream has changed. I'm playing Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. If there's any schedule change, I'll let you know by posting on X, Blue Sky, and sometimes Facebook. You can follow all my socials, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny, and sign up for my YouTube channel. It's also Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny, where I repost all of my streams. So come join me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Robin Yoda for some awesome streams. And once again, thanks for watching.
Thanks for everything you do, Robin. You are a wonder. I've been doing some cleaning, and many years ago now, uh, Robin commissioned me to do some cosplay parts for her, and I have mock-ups. And because I never throw anything away, I have the original mock-ups for her cosplay sword and shield tucked away in different places, and it was a great project. I learned a lot doing it, but it also the funds helped at a time where the funds were very needed. And Trey says you made your goal though. I think I might chaos plant some flowers this year. I'm all about the chaos planting. I'm really thinking of doing some chaos planting of just a ridiculous quantity of beans. Like take one of the 12 bean soups and just go on some part of the yard. And yes, I did. The lot is going to be awesome for the next stream. I'm so happy. And it's very cool that you can do such soothing, comforting, comfortable content. In this world of loud noise and louder aggressions, uh, it's wonderful that some of the people are just streaming chill, calm, relaxed stuff. And I know I boom in the mornings normally, but you guys, that shtick goes way back into when I would just simply type out "Good morning, Nevermorians" on BKM's thing, which I have to put back up because I had to take it down for the technical reason of I couldn't see Trey's cat otherwise. And as anyone knows, I am a great fan of, appreciator, a connoisseur of Trey's cat. It just makes my day better thinking about either of them really, but I run in interesting circles. I need to hop in, Robin. We all do. And we may plant some flowers to bring the pollinators. Marigolds are wonderful. They'll bring the good pollinators in and drive mosquitoes and the bad ones out. I don't know if scorpions are a problem, but I think I read it. I think marigolds might work with scorpions. Uh, I've gotten to use the old cayenne pepper along parts of my property line to dissuade the coyotes, which has worked well enough. The rabbits have discovered it, so I'm going to have to put cayenne pepper around my garden stuff to try to keep the little funny foo-foos out of my plants. We're going to put in cotton, and I want to see how well the cotton does as well. I'm rather excited about that project. Hey, Robin and Chris. My literal garden will have to wait until next year. I have considerable prep work to do before it gets done and much higher priority stuff to work on before that gets done. I understand. Now that my Monday evenings are open, evil Lord Vacuum comes from the depths of hell to vex all felines. Oh. And this is why my brain annoys me. I see Thesis saying hi to Chris and Robin, and my brain goes to Batman and Robin. You know, spicy take. I enjoyed those movies. The horrible Schumacher films, they were fun. They're like fishing shows. I never have sit down and go, I really want to watch one of the Batman and Robin, the Schumacher Batmans. But danged, if anytime it's on, I don't sit down and have a really good time watching the Adam Westian drivel. And I do think that George Clooney does not get enough praise for that whole role. And shoot, it's not Daryl Hannah. Who was it who played Vicky Vale? She was adorable. Anyway, giggles. Plus, I grew up in the 90s, so there will always at least be a measure of affection towards Alicia Silverstone. She was the Reese Witherspoon of before there was a Reese Witherspoon. Anyway, sounds like my brain. O'Donnell, for those who didn't get the correlation. Understood. Thesis calls it roller coaster of thought. Absolutely. And Robin says, I have to get the water in my yard taken care of, and then the yard mown down as short as possible so I can convert it to pet-friendly clover lawn. I want to do the exact same thing. Clover is nice. No mowing, lots of buggies to help the garden, and it tastes good. Roller coaster of thought. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle during the ride. Deep fried Cadbury eggs. That sounds amazing. Oh, I'll one-up you. I will one-up deep fried Cadbury eggs. I believe it involves fudge brownie mix, but Scotch Cadbury eggs. I can't know that. We ordered from Walmart, and they said they couldn't find Cadbury eggs. So they substituted the Cadbury Robin's eggs, which are not the same thing. But it does mean I have Cadbury Robin's eggs, and I'm going to have to go out sometime this week and possibly acquire some Cadbury cream eggs. Not much for strict nutritionists, but frying Cadbury, oh my. My mom is allergic to my favorite flowers. I'm sorry. Deep fried Oreos? You fiend! I am intimately acquainted with deep fried Oreos, as I am someone who grew up in Indiana, and they have these things called fairs. But my gosh, man, bringing up deep fried Oreos when I'm one granola bar into some concept of breakfast. Roller coasters of thought are very interesting. You start start talking about line dancing, and somehow end up talking about bees. Oh, that's an easy connection. Na na, bunnies, bunnies, bunnies. I do love me some bunny goodness. And we have a lot of people in the chat. I haven't run ads, so I am going to run an ad for, let's see, I have some new ones. I'm going to do this one.
Dana just lost her waitressing job. TV star Joe was in a strange town doing a favor for a friend. Friendship sparks, but a snowstorm cools more than a town. The miles between them aren't the only challenge. And then there's that crazy ex-wife.
You can find all of Donna Carlene's books on Lulu.com. Find out more about her on the NDCD page at ndcd.org.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Foxy, I have a theory. Couldn't resist Robin after seeing what Dawn typed. I am not now thinking about a bunny girl version of Batgirl. I'm not. I'm not, dang it. I am not. Oh, Shia. No, okay. I like wild roses, especially the stronger scented ones, not the cut types. I am a sucker for those. I am a sucker for tulips and jonquils and daffodils. I am a sucker for the little violets that come up and come in more colors than people want to talk about. But I think my current favorite my current favorite flower really is my chicory, because anything that's a beautiful little flower that annoys the heck out of people is nigh unkillable and can give me a delightful coffee-like substance. That's one thing the South understands. Chicory coffee is a beautiful thing. I also like bread, who's completely bothering poor Trey, who's working on a project right now. Bread siding, lots of bread. There we go. All about the thump. I know. Extreme close up. No, I know you guys. I got to do the bread sidings, but thinking about planting bell peppers, where the city made me clean up the weeds and bushes. I want to. I've gotten a couple peppers to work. I keep trying to get cayenne peppers to work, and they keep getting cooked. So I have to try other ways of doing it. But I want to get peppers so that I can. I want a truly elaborate spice garden, and I consider peppers to be part of the spice garden because then I can dehydrate them and use them in a variety of things. I am one of those people who it's like, you got to have access to garlic, you have to have access to black pepper, you have to have access to cayenne pepper and chili powder. And, these are like the 4 sacred ingredients that I use as my baseline to most cooking. Ginger is like the quiet 5th one in that, but you have to pick and choose. I have some friends who do not use spices, or don't. They only have 1 or 2, and I just kind of want to do a Walmart order of here are spices. Unfortunately, I had a friend who believed rosemary was the solution to all things. So I kind of got heavily nuked on rosemary. And the new ad is great, Robin. Yellow roses and tulips. Or cantaloupe. Did that once and loved it. Yes, we want to do watermelons. We want to do pumpkins. Definitely want to do pumpkins. Don't think I have room for cantaloupe. I still have those. I'm glad. Those watermelons and stuff need to spread too much for a patio. That's true, but there's some really great, and I wish I could remember the variety. We had a delightful dwarf cherry tomato that was incredibly productive all season. Utterly delightful. Yeah, Foxy. I think I might do that. Mother-in-law loves them, so she can help me eat them. That's a good idea. Self-sufficient me? Oh, God. Remind me, Foxy, I will send you some really great gardening YouTube channels, because I know there are a lot of gardening YouTube channels, and trying to find good ones can be difficult at best. But the I can send you some good ones with some advice on like patio and small gardening, because we've done a lot of that for when my mobility was severely limited. I could only make it out to my porch, and it was kind of understood that it was preferred I not go out farther than my porch back then for fear of the falls. But that meant the area around my porch had a lot of grow bags. Let's see. We did that, and I was showing someone my babies yesterday. You know the artwork. And they mentioned they thought Nick would be a furry. I said, not really, but he does claim he's not a cryptid. I've been doing furry artwork and anthro artwork since the 90s. I do not dress up in fursuits. I have gone to one fur convention because I got a paid, here, you can go to this convention for free. All you have to do is drive me up to the hotel in Schaumburg. And honestly, it was one of the best times I've ever had. It was a blast. My favorite part was when someone brought an actual lynx, and they clipped my bad knee, and I ended up sitting on the floor for like 45 minutes because the lynx liked me. It took the owner explaining that is not a growl, that's a purr. She doesn't usually do that. And then a full-size lynx, which is about the size of a large dog with paws about this big around, demanding belly rubs, belly scritches. So when a lynx demands belly scritches, you scritch the lynx. And you know, all you people who look at them and go, pss, 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 because you want to know, are they as soft as they look? They're softer. And good morning, folks. I know I'm getting on the chat a bit late. Monday of IT issues, dealing with contractors and testing department. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, that's rough, Joe. I hope you're doing better. Hugs, Joey. Adulting sucks, but we understand. Only here for a minute. Got a meeting with a contractor and designer starting about 15 minutes. Well, I hope you have a good one, Joe. Good luck. There was no behind the code tonight, and depending on what I end up having to do with Indie CD, the show may be taking a brief return. We shall see. More to come on that. Excuse me. Accountability. Cleaning my tea set this morning. Might be doing something later tonight. Stay tuned. Ooh, mystery. And I'm currently looking at doing a total revamp of the Indie CD again, converting it to a solely HTML site, except to sign up process. I still need to utilize WordPress for that portion. Anyway, time for me to hop into meeting, make sure I can connect. See y'all later. Bye. Kim Basinger. Yes. Yes. Just Kim. Yes. Sorry. Hey, Nick. Does the Nick field affect the internet? I keep seeing comments on your end that don't show for me. Well, some people come in. I broadcast to 4 places. I broadcast to the Nick Tockert YouTube channel and the Nick T underscore artist Twitch. I broadcast to the Independent Creator Directory YouTube channel and the Independent Creator Directory Twitch. So if you are seeing me bring up comments that you don't see, one of two things is going on. Either they are coming from one of the other sites, or if you look at your comments, it'll say there are two settings, top messages, and I want to say all. You need to move it to all messages. It's a common thing. Autocorrect strikes again. There might be other channels later, Joe. Oh, Robin. Hey, live chat, top chat. That's right. I was thinking the wrong channel. Doom Bunny Girl. Doom Bunny is usually in the company of girls. Bunny Oracle. Ooh, I am artistically inclined. If I ever have a yard, it will be a riot of colors and textures. That's what we're trying to figure out how to do without having the town of Earl Park come down on us. With all the talk of frying Cadbury eggs, methinks Foxy will have to share that video. Would be appreciated. Bread! Might put it up later, and I've got comment dump, which is fine. Okay. Robin, now my brain went, would you be team up with Doom Bunny, or would Doom Bunny be your enemy? Good question. Doom Bunny is a fair weather member at best. Doom Bunny! Doom Bunny is an angel in fluff, whom I love. And there's the bunny twerk for the people who need it. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I've loved Doom Bunny since he was my mascot again. Since the late 80s, early 90s. Doom Bunny. So there is actual small quantities of Doom Bunny merch out there. I love Doom Bunny. It's the mascot of the Doom Bunny Militia, which is my multiversal mercenary unit for whenever I am playing like a big stompy robot, Cav, BattleTech, games like that. It's always the Doom Bunny Militia. Garlic onion. Onion is very good. Garlic, onion, and butter. That smells good. What are you making starter pack? Yep. You throw some olive oil and you're getting into things that are downright holy. Conquered most of the known world for spices and used none of them. It's tragic. Well, I think what it is they treated spices like they were drug dealers and they never dipped into their own stock. But don't look at me. I love healthy spicing. Yellow and flowers for friends of roses can communicate relationships actual or desired, and tulips communicate longevity of emotions. Yeah. The comments are on YouTube. Okay. Make sure you have all the comments checked. Or Kim Basinger, yes, but the eternal question is Kim or Michelle Pfeiffer in the Catwoman suit. I'm still going to go with Kim because Michelle Pfeiffer is a wonderful actress, a very attractive woman and all. I was a big Kim Basinger fan. And for me, Julie Newmar will always be the pinnacle of Catwomaning. Followed shortly by Eartha Kitt. And I know that's a spicy take because Eartha Kitt is Eartha Kitt. But Eartha Kitt's one of those that I put as beyond the role of merely Catwoman. Oh, it must be getting close to tea time. I'm being lightly chewed on. Only 4 likes. Yeah, it happens. it's a quiet Monday, and I didn't come up booming, so I understand if you guys don't like that. Do bunny butt. And well, I must make up to the cats, so better feed them. They're probably worried since mom isn't home to feed them. See you all around sometime. We'll see you soon. If not here, then in the room. Oh wow, both cats are mauling Trey. Poor girl. But she's clearly working and eating, so I'm not going to bring it up. I get to see it, and you don't. Yeah. Have fun, Carl. Good luck. And Julie Newmar is the best Catwoman. Just absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to run some more ads, and then I'm probably going to wrap up for the day because I'm past an hour already for this program. We will be having, remember, Wednesday is the art stream. Bunny Oracle is actually floating as a possible contemplation. Let me find a writing. Oh. Aha! I don't have to use that. I can use my pen. Bunny. Ooh, this is a nice pen. Oracle? Question mark? See, then I have to go, am I going Oracle of Delphi, or am I going more classic wandering fortune teller? But I'm going to run an ad. And love that you have the pen cup. I usually do. They just wandered around. I'm making progress in the huge mess. And yes, I would love to swing by the stream if I can. We are enduring massive winds right now. So, well, by normal people scales, we're sitting in the mid 30s sustained winds. So, yeah, we'll have to see. If my net holds out, it's held out this long. I did not expect it to. Have a great selection of pens on my dresser for the same reason. Oh, I have pens everywhere. My pen cup is the vase I made in like junior high. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, let's run some more ads. Let's see. Where are we?
Hi, I'm Auntie Foxy, and I'm a crafting addict. I make custom jewelry from recycled materials, and Foxy has wares if you have coin. You can find me at ndcd.org/about-auntie-foxy. I hope to see you there.
Hello, I'm Dan Hallfield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
All right, and let's see, did that? I have to run Cat's ad. It's not a day if I don't run Cat's ad. actually a surprising number of ads, and a few I'm going to have to take down that are no longer relevant. But this one is always relevant.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
And that's what I want for all of you guys. As we round up our day, I want you guys to have the opportunity to sit down and express your art. And as gauche as it may be, I want you to have the opportunity to get paid for it. I want you guys to be able... I dream of a world where people can do what they love and make enough money to live in comfort, safety, and dignity, doing whatever it is they do. I don't think that's a big ask. But until the world becomes more sane, and as the wind whips up merrily, and the slight ripples of the little tiny minnow-sized corn sharks make their way through the mud, in the distant land of Earl Park, where there are no dogs allowed at the dog park, and there's no lake at Rock Lake, I'm going to say, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating, because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you cannot edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too. Toodle.